Good morning. I decided to do things a little differently today, and I am outside on the porch of one of our guest cabins. I am not going anyplace today. There will not be a road trip to share. There will not be anything going on away from the house. My husband and I decided to take a day just to stay home and do projects. He's got an issue with his back right now, so he didn't really want to do a lot of walking, but we're going to do some things around here, and I think maybe I'll just piece together what I do for the day and share it with you. There's probably going to be some gardening. I think he's going to use his sawmill. I'm going to get the cabins ready to videotape. And sorry, I just used an old word. There's no tape involved now to get ready to film or video. I want to share the inside of the cabins with everybody. So I hope I get a lot done today, and I'll share with you some of the things I get done, and we'll see what happens. For those of you who saw my sunflower planting video, this is how they're coming along. They're doing really well. I have these little butterfly stakes I stick into things all around my yard just for a little touch of color. So there's that. And there's the outside of the cabin that I'm going to show later. And there's Ziggy having a little outside time that she loves this weather. So that cabin is on my list of things to share today. But my sunflowers are doing really well. I'm excited about that. Okay, here comes the tour of the cabin. This was planned to be a potting shed because this is the area I used to have a garden. And that's why there are so many windows in it. And the top is painted black now because my husband tried to make it a little darker in there. The deck is made from reused deck from my husband taking down a friend's. And we try to use as many free materials as possible. The siding was from a barn my husband took down for a neighbor. The door was an old door we had. And here we are inside. I think it's a very cozy atmosphere. It sleeps one on that couch by the door, and it sleeps two in the queen size bed. So it's really for three people. The carpet, that rug right there, my mom made out of leftover yarn. I love those little things. My husband made that table out of a sewing machine stand. Of course, he carved the bears. He made that lamp on the table. The nightstand was made by my mother-in-law. So many things in here were made by us. Of course, my husband made that little shelf. It has air conditioning and it has internet and a TV, so a guest will be pretty comfortable out here. It does not have bathroom facilities, but nobody has had a problem with that yet. My husband made the table and we recovered the chairs that he had found. So this really was an inexpensive project, and it's just a little getaway for me sometimes. I call it my cabin. The other one is his cabin. But he has also stayed out here. The dog likes to sleep out here with me. Here's Ziggy sitting on the porch of my husband's cabin. We are pressure washing it because it was really needing it. So after it's pressure washed, then I am going to take you on a tour on the inside. This cabin started out as a chicken coop. You can see where there's a section in the middle that's a little different on each end. He then made a sign and called it his carving cabin, and he put an addition on the left and on the right. And you'll see when we get inside that now it is a cute little guest cabin as well. It's decorated with things that we used to have in the house and just have no room for, or have changed our decor. And it's kind of a John Deere old time type decor. Another nightstand made by my mother-in-law, and the eagle was made by my mother-in-law, and the bear by my husband. When we used to live in Florida, this was an off-roading swamp buggy. That's my son when he was only 2. And then my husband raced swamp buggies and mud boggers, and here's our mud bogger. Not a real great picture, I'm sorry. But then he got a recliner that used to belong to his aunt and uncle, and when they passed, he took their recliner. And then this is the area where he would sit and do his carving with a really nice view to the open spaces next door to us. We own up into that fence, but nobody actually lives on the property next to us. It's between us and a farm. And it's just a really nice little cabin. So we have 2 cabins for anyone to stay. After the pressure washing activity, we decided to have a little campfire. We do this very often. It's relaxing. My husband will sit out here by himself for hours and just have a campfire and relax. This is the fire hut we have near where we have our campfires. This keeps us a little bit out of the sun or weather. It's just a nice place to sit. After our campfire, I went in and made my cucumber, tomato, onion, dill, olive oil, and red wine vinegar salad. Here's my husband's sawmill. He is going to work on it later if it stops raining. We thought he would get a chance to do it today, but it started raining. We thought we got through a Saturday without rain. I'm just taking a little garden stroll, and here's our potatoes. They're doing great. I know I updated this recently, but things change every couple days in a garden. So here's all this, and then I've got to do something with my strawberry plant. It's got a lot of runners going out. I need to do that. My watermelon and cantaloupe hill, they're not really doing well. Here's my pumpkins. Not huge, but they're sprouting. And we didn't weed over here because it's kind of hard to tell the corn from the grass at this point, but I can see a row of corn growing up over there. And a little bit of the garden. The basil's doing great. I got some dill here now. Dill is doing well. Still not very many onions at all, but we've got some zucchini. These two are doing great. They'll probably be my first producers. And then this one, I still don't know exactly what's going to come off of that. That was the one that sprouted on its own. And nothing, but some are doing okay. My tomato plants hanging in there. This one's not looking so great, but that one's doing the best. My second batch of radishes has sprouted, so those will be coming along soon. And the lettuce is pretty sparse here and there, but there's some. And still, I haven't planted anything here. I guess maybe I really am doing what I said I was going to do and downsize a little bit. But my beans are growing great. We protected them from the little critters for a little while, but they're getting big enough now we probably can uncover them. For this are the green peppers. They seem to do better in this kind of a situation. They're doing okay right now. I gotta water them though. That's the problem with having them in here. We have to water them when there's no reason to otherwise. You can see some cucumbers growing. When my husband mows, he sometimes just puts all the grass on top of things because that's what helps keep the no-till gardening, and it helps just add to it. So there's the cucumbers. And then we'll go down here and check this row of pumpkins. Okay, some of these are growing nicely. There's a little one there. Some of them are getting a little bigger. Oh, that one's popped right up, you can see. And I went back through, and when one didn't work, I put another seed in, so some other ones have come up. So at least every other one grew, which is good because I'm sure I don't need all the ones that I planted. So there's just another look back up to the garden area, and we have that building to the left is my garden shed, and we've got a bunch of windows. Through the years we've collected the old windows free by the side of the road, and my husband obviously used them in my cabins and for a lot of different projects, so we always take advantage of things like that. And then that is my husband's big shop, and then I'll just do another view of our property, and out there is our compost piles. In the pasture we own out to those trees, and then you can't see it, but on the other side of these trees is our pond. Now that it's all filled in, you can't see that very well. Take you on a little tour of this part too. My husband built this as a brand new shop a while back, and he connected it to a barn that was here. This was a huge barn that we had torn down, and a company came and bought it from us and reused it for a house somewhere. And then in that center area where those windows are, my husband had made a wood shop separate from his garage. It's where he keeps his tractor and his old snowplow that he used before he bought the new tractor. So this is just a typical barn full of stuff. We've gotten rid of a lot through the years. but we've also collected a lot, and it goes way in the back. A lot of things. If I walk through here, right here's the old wood shop. He doesn't obviously use it right now. It's some storage. And then we have more of this barn. He calls it droopy because it had drooped. There's a really old beam. He's kept it up by supporting it occasionally, and just a lot of things. But this one comes through, and where we come out is over on the side by the fire pit and the cabins. Excuse all the mess. It is not all kept up nicely like we hope to do someday soon. But here we are back out to the area where our cabins and things are. Just a little walking tour. This is our first experimental wildflower garden, and a lot of the wildflowers have come back this year. We don't know what is grass and what is wildflowers, so we're just leaving it. It's fun. And then back over here, our lavender has not sprouted yet, I don't think, but we're keeping it watered, and it should come up pretty soon. This is where my husband was doing his bear carvings, and now he's using it to store the wood he's cutting with his sawmill. And this is his big shop. A lot of it has been cleaned out. He's currently working on a cover to put over the sawmill so that he can continue to work on that in the rain. And he's got tons of stuff in this shop. He's done a lot of different varieties of projects, so he has tools for all kinds of things. There's the door to the mud bogger and pictures of all of his race cars and trophies and things through the years. This building is coming down. It's starting to fall down, and it is something my husband wants to get taken down before it does collapse. He's got some steel in there because he used to work for a welding shop, and they closed and were just throwing everything away. So he salvaged all the steel and has used it through the years for projects. This was the shop that was here when we moved in, and he built the addition over here to the left that he uses for wood. This was his original shop, and he moved most things to his other shop when he had it. This one is still quite full of junk. He has been coming out here on a weekly basis and cleaning things up, taking things to the junkyard, throwing things away. He's got to replace this back wall where he had an addition that's jutting out into the building I told you he was going to take down. But in the spirit of decluttering and not leaving a mess to our son, he has really started working on this mess, and he has vowed that he is going to get it down to a manageable level in the very near future. We have a lot of things to sell as well. So in the spirit of having a little more insight into our lives, that is just a general tour of our property. Not even all of our property, but it's where we live, and we are enjoying it, and I hope you have enjoyed the little tour today. If you're still here, I hope you enjoyed the tour I took you on of our outbuildings and our garden and everything. It was a very relaxing day staying home. We enjoy day trips on Saturdays, but we also like to have some time where we just get to stay at home and do the projects we like to do or relax. It rained a little bit today, so we didn't get to the gardening, and my husband didn't get to his sawmill because he doesn't have a protective cover over it, which he did work on today so he can sawmill in the rain another time. So I also enjoyed some time inside. I did some catching up on friends' YouTube videos and watching some TV and puttering around. I did some cooking and food prep, but it was a nice relaxing day at home, and I hope you all enjoyed your Flag Day. I made that flag that's on the cabin. It's out of a pallet, and I painted that. So that was a tour of the property and getting to know a little bit about me more than what I usually share. So have a great day.